Hurt Syndicate. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin without MVP tonight. What happened to MVP? Where was he? I don't know. No mention of MVP.
Can't travel?
I don't know. FTR, Dax and Cash with Stokely and Brodito, Jesse. Brody King and Bandito.
Stop saying that.
Brodito.
Wait. No, stop saying that. Wasn't he absent for the last show in Canada?
I don't know. I don't remember.
It sounds familiar. I could be way off. I could be way fucking off. But hey,
Chad, is there any reason why MVP didn't make the show tonight? I don't know.
No, he could have had personal fucking things to do.
Who knows? Who knows? This was the first match outside the Cope and Christian stuff. I really wasn't looking forward to that per se, but it's always nice to see them together and see how that story's developing. But this was the first thing on the show tonight I was genuinely curious about, and all for the wrong reasons. It's not because I was excited about the match. I was excited to see how they would play this out. And I mean that in a creative sense, what the ending was going to be. Now, FTR and Brodito were the finals of this Eliminator Tag Team Tournament that we saw play out over several weeks on AEW television, on both Dynamite and Collision. The finals happened on Wednesday's Dynamite, and it went to a 30-minute time limit draw. So we wasted weeks of television to ultimately get no winner. And we all looked at that as, okay, I see that they're really kind of making Sean Ross Sapp's report on Fightful kind of true as far as the creative input or creative control aspect of what MVP said in that report. Now, I looked at this, Jesse, and I said to myself, FTR is the likely winner here because we have Cope and Christian, and that's the next stage for Cope and Christian. So Cope helped Christian beat his boys tonight in the Patriarchy, and now up next is FTR in Toronto. Then we got Brodito. I think Brodito's the sentimental favorite because everybody really likes Brody King, and they want to see him get a nice foothold for himself on the main roster here and win some tag team gold. He doesn't have Buddy Matthews. He's not going to be back for a while. It's the tag team with Brodito seems to be working out. I think everybody wants to see Brody get what he deserves because he's been killing it lately. And then we got the Hurt Syndicate, who, you know, for lack of a better word, is fucking the most dominant tag team in all of AEW, and they're fucking cool. And they're very, very they got that presence. I'm looking back at this and I said, FTR, we got something other than FTR. The way that they went about it is very laughable. And I'll start here. Brodito won the tag team championships. I don't mind that they won the tag team championships. A, because of what we discussed so far. This entire show has been very predictable. This was a very unpredictable outcome. I did not expect them. I don't think you did either, to win the tag team championships. And number two, I'm looking back at it. If we did put the titles on FTR, it would be reckless to put the titles on FTR, only to take the titles off FTR, to put them on Cope and Christian in Toronto, which you know Tony Khan would have been very tempted to do. So all in all, looking back at Brody and Bandito winning, I don't have a problem with them winning the tag team championships. Let's start there. What'd you think of the outcome?
It's fine. I mean, if they plan on actually continuing this Brody King and Bandito tag team, all right, then this was fine. I mean, the ultimate goal is to get the titles off of the Hurt Syndicate, which I'm all for, because it opens these guys up to do bigger and better things. So I figured it'd be FTR, but like you said, this was a little bit on the more unpredictable outside as far as outcomes go. So you put it on these two. Now we gotta wait and see if this is just a hot shot transitional type deal, or if they're gonna actually have these guys run the division for a significant amount of time.
Yeah, I don't know what the plan is for Brody and Bandito. I don't know if the Hurt Syndicate are going to lobby for a rematch because they theoretically weren't pinned. So we could see the Hurt Syndicate versus Bandito and Brody King again, 2-on-2 regular for the tag team championships. The thing is here, this all ended up being very convoluted. And they made it into a triple threat match because they went 30 minutes on Wednesday and we got no winner. Wednesday, it ended up being in the graphic that this was going to be an elimination match. They ended up taking that stipulation away. I don't know if their PR team on social media made a fucking mistake or was a typo in the graphic. It was an elimination match on Wednesday because we called it out on Wednesday. We saw it on Wednesday. And then today, before the show starts, I see nothing in regards to an elimination match. So they said something on Wednesday, and then they took it back again tonight. I don't know why they did that. I don't know if it was a genuine mistake or if they had more plans that changed creatively because the Hurt Syndicate didn't want it that way. So we'll pick it up here towards when everything started really going down. So Lashley and Benjamin, they are taking out everybody. And there was a long time in between we got Hurt Syndicate and FTR in the ring together. We didn't get a lot at all of FTR and the Hurt Syndicate going back and forth. This was a lot of Hurt Syndicate and Bandito Brody King. FTR and Bandito Brody King. If you went back and watched the match, you got very, very little of the Hurt Syndicate and FTR. I don't know what the fuck the problem is here creatively. I don't know why they couldn't really kind of mix it up a little bit more. Two of the more premier tag teams in AEW trying to stay away from each other. I don't understand that, which is just very bizarre to me. So they're in there, they're throwing everybody around, and Lashley hits a spear on Brody King. All of a sudden, we get 3 masked men wearing New Japan Pro Wrestling tracksuits, and they start attacking Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. Let me backtrack just a little bit. This match started off as a tornado tag team match, and Excalibur said that there was no tags. All of a sudden, we see Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley tag in. I'm like, I thought we were getting a tornado tag team match. So I don't know. I don't know what had happened with the rules here or the stipulations. There was a lot of miscommunication here. Excalibur did a very poor job of telling us exactly what the fuck was going on here. So it ended up being a traditional triple threat tag team match with tags. It wasn't a tornado tag. So the New Japan guys are out there, tracksuits, and they start attacking Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. They brawl up the aisleway. Stokely slid a chair into Dax, who hit Brody King in the fucking head with it. No blocking, just an old school chair shot to the head. All of a sudden, Ricochet and the Gates of Agony reveal that they were the ones underneath the ski masks and wearing the New Japan tracksuits. So they got... What happened?
Question.
Yeah.
What was the purpose of wearing the ski mask and wearing New Japan tracksuits?
I have no idea. But it did lead to them getting zero reaction.
I mean, if they were going to do the beat down and then leave and then keep their identity a secret, then okay. Then I guess we got to tune in later to find out who it was. But they revealed themselves 30 seconds later.
Well, yes, it not only fucked up the intrigue of who they may be, and this company doesn't like building on intrigue. That would have been a much better way to go about it, yes. Plus, them attacking the Hurt Syndicate in the aisleway and then revealing who they were, they got zero reaction. So the initial beatdown got no reaction because nobody knew who the fuck they were. And then when they revealed to be Ricochet and the Gates of Agony, the crowd was like, oh, it's these guys? Who gives a fuck?
Whatever.
Nobody cares. 3 losers. So they're there. They get zero reaction. Danielson said MJF. And this is the part that really bugged me the most out of everything. Why is Bryan Danielson trying to tell us what may or may not be going on? Isn't Excalibur the fucking lead guy out here? Shouldn't he be the one leading the broadcast and telling us exactly what may be going on here? Why do we need Bryan Danielson, who is there simply as a guest? Because Taz can't be there because he can't travel with his knees. Why is Danielson the one to fill us in here? He says maybe MJF had an alliance with them last week where he could be behind this because we last saw him with the Gates of Agony and Ricochet. It makes sense. But I would have to question, Jesse, and this is what we mentioned on Wednesday. What is Ricochet and the Gates of Agony getting out of this relationship with MJF? They did for MJF, and they didn't get anything back from MJF. And here again, they did for MJF. What is their payment for working with MJF? What is their payment for taking out the Hurt Syndicate here? Exactly. Nothing.
Maybe they get to wear the Dynamite Diamond ring sometimes.
Sure, to feel important. Maybe they get to dress in MJF's fancy suits and wear the scarf. Who knows?
Maybe they, bro. I'm still trying to figure out why they came out in New Japan jumpsuits and masks.
Well, that's mistake number 1. How is this going to be in favor of working with MJF? Sure, MJF got bounced from the Hurt Syndicate. There's an in there. But again, the big question is, what do they get out of it? Is this a new group that we're operating with? It came about randomly all of a sudden because of their dislike for Mark Briscoe. Now their dislike kind of bleeds into the Hurt Syndicate. Ricochet and the Hurt Syndicate haven't had TV time, Jesse, in how many months? 8, 9 months now?
Yeah, something like that.
When was the last time that they crossed paths? So the only in here, the only explanation would be is if it was set up by MJF, which maybe on Wednesday we'll find out that Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin pieced the puzzle together and realized that it's MJF doing this and I guess manipulating Ricochet in the Gates of Agony. So they come out and we don't see the Hurt Syndicate again. So Brodito avoided a powerplex by FTR, hit one of their own, and all of a sudden, Brody King does this monkey flip out of the corner with Bandito, and it landed so poorly to a point where it looked fucked up on landing, and he's supposed to go for the cover all in one shot. So imagine Brody King doing a monkey flip to his own partner, and then the impact of him is to flip over and land on one of the guys in FTR to make the pin, a 450 pin. He fucked it up. Bandito made the cover, lost the cover, and we got an initial pop for the 3, but it had to be redone because he missed the cover. He was off. And then all of a sudden, Dax is being covered. Cash is trying to come in to save the redo. This all got so botched. It looked fucking terrible when it played out. But we did get the redo count. Bandito covered Dax. 1, 2, 3. Brody King and Bandito win the tag team championships. And they are the new tag team champions by pinning FTR and not the Hurt Syndicate, because the Hurt Syndicate were run off by the Gates of Agony and Ricochet. Jesse, at the end of this, everything that Sapp put in that report about MVP and the creative input / creative control aspect that supposedly the Hurt Syndicate have, bro, you look back. I was watching this with a microscope, man. They barely had any interaction with FTR. It was mostly just them and Brodito. But then they get taken out by Ricochet and the Gates of Agony, and Brodito are left to pin FTR and the Hurt Syndicate. I think we all kind of assumed coming in they weren't going to be pinned to lose the tag team titles. Man, looking back at that report and seeing how they lost the tag team championships and how they did not factor into the outcome, they didn't mix it up really with FTR. Man, it makes everybody look bad, man. It really makes Sapp's reporting look very valid, and it makes the creative input in AEW really stick out like a sore thumb, man. It makes everybody look bad. And that was fucking embarrassing to see that they put this match together for the reasons that I said on Wednesday, that Brody and Bandito with FTR went 30 minutes to simply get another team involved in this thing so that the Hurt Syndicate didn't have to quote-unquote lose by taking the pin, man. That's fucking embarrassing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, so it could have been done. It could have been done better. I mean, just the ending alone was not great. I mean, it was just very cringe. I mean, it was a clear and obvious mistake. But look, that shit happens. Okay, it shit happens. It happens. What are you gonna do about it? The reports, along with what we got in today's show, I mean, again, it's just not a good look. I mean, you got to ask yourself, why do we have anyone that, first off, anyone at all, but second off, someone that literally just got into the company less than a year ago, walking around dictating what they are and are not going to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what are we doing here? Are we out for ourselves? Are we out to make a better product as a team? What are we fucking doing here? Why are we going around dictating who we like, who we don't like, who we're gonna lose to? What are we gonna? I mean, what are we in the 80s, man? Come on, bro.
Listen, bro, there was a moment in this match where Bobby Lashley and Brody King had a stare down, and the fans fucking erupted, man. I look at that, and yes, it's exciting to see two guys. Brody actually is bigger than Bobby Lashley, to be honest with you. The crowd erupted from that stare down, bro, and that's the only part of the entire situation I agree with MVP on. Like, I understand that he is looking to protect his boys and looking to protect their character and their gimmick and their aura. I get it. I get the fact that he wants Bobby Lashley to be in the ring with guys the size of Brody King and lose to guys legitimate that are bigger than Bobby Lashley because it looks believable. He doesn't want Bobby Lashley losing to guys like Speedball and Kevin Knight and fucking Cash Wheeler. I get that aspect of it, and I don't blame him at all. But like you said, They are walking in here, and I'm sure they're making a fucking hefty price tag to wrestle for AEW. But at the end of the day, it's all in the lap creatively of Tony Khan. Tony dictates what he wants and what he doesn't want. Why he is allowing MVP and the Hurt Syndicate to dictate where the creative goes is fucking laughable, and it makes Tony look bad. And in this outcome, it makes MVP and the Hurt Syndicate look bad because the report rang true. It really shows that they are there for the money and they're not there to overall help the health of AEW and push for a better product. It's all about themselves. And at that point, bro, I'm sorry, I can't really sit here and agree with that. I feel like those are the types of guys, no matter how good they are, those are the types of guys you don't want on television because they're all for themselves.
Agreed. I mean, unfortunately, agreed. I want these guys here. I enjoy them here. I enjoy what they do. But if everyone walked around with that kind of attitude, bro, we would never get fucking anywhere.
No.
Everyone would be complaining all the goddamn time. Look, there are not too many guys bigger than Bobby Lashley. So by his fucking theory, by that logic, he should never be losing. I can hand count, on one hand how many people are equal to or bigger than Bobby Lashley. So is that the assumption that they had when they came in, that, well, we're only gonna lose to guys that's bigger than Lashley? That's it. I mean, look, bro, it's a scripted television show. Shit happens, fuckery happens. I mean, you might lose for this reason, maybe that reason. I don't care how big you are. You're not the best fucking wrestler. You're a big guy. You're not a better wrestler than Bryan Danielson. Okay. So if I'm gonna script something to put you out there to lose to Bryan Danielson, then that's just what the fuck you're doing. I don't understand all of this. Well, I don't want to lose to this. I don't want to lose to that bullshit. I mean, you're out there to if you're getting paid and you're being used in a meaningful way on television, in my opinion, shut the fuck up.
I agree.
Shut up. You're being used in a meaningful way. You're not being embarrassed. You're getting paid. You're making your dates. You're getting your merch. Shut the fuck up. Seriously, there are people who can't get on TV and you're complaining about who you want to and not want to lose to. Come on, man. They've been booked very strong, the Hurt Syndicate. They've been booked very fucking strong since they gotten here. I don't understand all this. Well, now I don't want to lose to this bullshit. Man, come on, man.
I don't know why we are living in a timeline where the characters that you see on television, the talent is dictating what happens and what doesn't happen. I don't get it. MVP, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin. I don't know what the relationship there is with MJF. But again, that's another example. MJF, how many weeks, Jesse? 6 or 7 weeks it took for us to get television to get this guy into the Hurt Syndicate. And it took 3 weeks to kick him out. Like, why didn't you want him when there was so much left on the bone there with MJF and the Hurt Syndicate? And we don't have that story playing out. We may have it being played out here with Ricochet and the Gates of Agony interfering, but where are we going with that? I mean, everything should just be so seamless and everything should just be just nice and packaged together. And meanwhile, they're off doing this and MJF is off doing the world title thing and they've split now with no fucking rhyme or reason. I don't understand why we're living in a timeline where things are being dictated by the talent. I just don't stand for that. And the way you look at this, there's tag teams in this division that are much better than the Hurt Syndicate. I'm sorry. Brody King and Bandito. Brody King on any given night could pin Bobby Lashley and it would be legit. I just don't see the problem in losing to FTR. I don't. Like, I don't understand where you look through the annals of history where a small guy beating a big guy is a fucking problem. As long as the story is there, that helps benefit everybody. Story matters in this context. Bobby Lashley could lose, but as long as he looks good in defeat, what's the problem?
What's the problem? What is the fucking problem? You can't go unfucking defeated. Bobby Lashley's bigger than MJF. I have no problem booking a MJF versus Bobby Lashley.
And MJF beating him. I find no problem in that.
None. None at all. So I don't understand all of this protectiveness of, I mean, come on, man. I get what's being said to an extent. Nobody wants to be made to look like an idiot or trash or stuck in catering. You don't want to be, booked into oblivion, but at the same time, you can't be going around talking about who you should and shouldn't be losing to because of your size. By that logic, you just be undefeated forever.
But, bro, he knew exactly where he was coming, and he knew he was going to dwarf 99% of the roster. What did he think? Yeah. He was going to go undefeated until his contract expired?
That's what it sounds like. If If what we're hearing is true and it appears to be true, I don't understand that logic, man. Bobby Lashley has been booked very well. And he could be world champion tomorrow and no one would blink an eye. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand all of this. We can't do this. We can't do that bullshit. There are people smaller than you that could beat you. It's a scripted wrestling television show. If we're gonna put you guys out there in a shoot fight, I'm gonna put all my money on Lashley. That guy will probably whoop everybody's asses. But that's not what we're booking here. That's not what we're doing.
Which is why I don't believe the part of the report that said they wanted to drop the titles or didn't mind to drop the titles to the Outrunners or Private Party or guys like that. Like, bro, you buried them already. Like, what's the difference between the Outrunners and FTR? The Outrunners actually look older than FTR do.
Yeah.
And we know they're not.
FTR is a legitimate, bona fide tag team, veterans who knows their way around a ring as far as a tag team match goes. It would make sense that you get beaten by guys who've been tag teaming for fucking 2 decades and you've been tag teaming for less than a year with this guy. I mean, come on, man.
I have a feeling now that Brodito won the titles. Brody King and Bandito are now the new tag team champions. I don't know if the Hurt Syndicate are going to lobby for a rematch because they weren't pinned. That's one direction. Number 2, we talked about for weeks. Jesse's mentioned it more than I have. Where are the Young Bucks in the tag team title picture? Do they not want their titles back? I honestly feel like we may be getting a Brodito versus Young Bucks rematch for the tag team championships, and I think I don't want to say this is the direction. I have a feeling, this is just me speaking for me, I genuinely have a feeling that when we get to a tag team title, Jesse, situation, because I thought it was going to happen with FTR and Cope and Christian. It's not. I'm glad it's not because it would look ridiculous to put the titles on FTR and then take them off FTR in 1 month. So I'm glad they didn't do that. When Cope and Christian are ready to go for the tag team championships, and you know that they will, I have a feeling it's going to be the Young Bucks, and I think they're going to be the champions, and I think Cope and Christian are going to take the titles off the Young Bucks, and that's the direction that they're going to go in. Because I also don't see the Hurt Syndicate winning the titles back only to drop them to Edge and Christian. I just don't see that happening. I think they would absolutely axe that idea and not want to go along with that. I think the Young Bucks are going to win the titles, and I think Edge and Christian takes them off the Young Bucks.
Probably. It's definitely high time that the Young Bucks got back into the tag team title picture and stopped just hovering around the main event scene for some reason or another. They're just kind of a fish out of water in that regard. They're supposed to be elevating the tag division. That was literally a part of their mantra when they started this company. What are they doing now? I mean, come on. I mean, it's the tag team division. Let's be honest. It sucks. It's in shambles right now. And the guys who told us that tag team wrestling was going to take, front and center in this company are off doing something else than trying to elevate the tag team division. So we need to get back to the basics here.